EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. And what a return. He's all the way down to the 30.
I can't help but smile, not because I'm rooting for any team in particular, but to see the special team set up their team in such a big way, you just know that helps the interaction between all phases of a football team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here's Love looking to pass on the first play.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this game, the ninth that the Jags have played here in London, you might know that Shad Khan, he's the owner of both the Jaguars and Fulham in the English Premier League on the soccer side of things. And this is the 3rd of 3 London games the NFL will play this year. But there is one more game to come over on the continent, the Seahawks and Bucks from Munich, Germany. The first time a regular season game will be played there.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Here's Love. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Yeah, the Jaguars are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
Goff now to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Terry McLaurin, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Jaguars use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Fulk connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Fulk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Ready. Crack open.
On fourth down, Love. And this one is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. A first down carry for Barkley. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Saquon Barkley, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And it's now 14-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Ready up.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Off the option, here's Henry. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they got themselves a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
97. Green back.
Love this time is going to set up to throw it. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
On third down, Henry. Brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On second down, there's the option going left. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And this is going to be incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And this one is right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats for this first half of action. Cross throw here into the hands of Boyd. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Gone. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. He's got room at the 30, and he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Goff throwing again. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
They'll throw again. Here's Love on 2nd and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 63 yards. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
10 seconds.
Love. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
Folk connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
On second down, Love once more. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on third down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Okay.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Six. Mega. Blue striker. Ultra.
Now Love. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This defense, 3 interceptions now. And, Charles, obviously that one for the pick 6. That gives them a 3-possession lead, and they are really in the driver's seat.
Makes you imagine what that lead could become with another half of football left to play, because the way they're getting after a partner, 30 points, 40 points, even 50 points, that type of a lead, not out of the question. And neither is another pick 6.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Goff being chased out left. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
A shotgun snap for Goff. This is caught, it's Boyd. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. 38 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To the air again. Goff. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. Here's Goff. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Jared Goff, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Taking it about the 1. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw now. Here's Love. And that will be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Down. Red, cycle.
Love to throw for it on 4th. Got his man. It's London. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Love. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close.
Ready, set. Hey, go furious.
They'll run for it with Henry. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
Here we go, crack.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Get it.
his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Love looking to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, but while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Love from the gun. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going. Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown of the year. And the Broncos are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Chris taking it at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from blocking. They want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that pick 6 a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession 4th quarter lead. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Goff going to throw it.
He's got his man. It's Pierce.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Goff's throw caught by Pierce.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down. Barkley, inside handoff. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigue maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Goff now looks to throw.
And this one too low.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Again, it's Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now. Goff. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Eddie Jackson picks it.
And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
One last shot now for Love. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Jaguars come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this